Hey, good morning, second grade. We are ready on this Thursday for our reading center time. Okay, we're going to do a story just like what we did yesterday. Okay, so you're going to need your piece of construction paper that looks like this. Make it long ways so we can put the story in. And you're going to need to cut apart the three story sections. Just cut those apart. Make sure that you leave this place to put the picture and the place to put the section of what part they're calling that part of the story. Either if it's the initial or beginning, the middle or the end. Okay, so you'll need to get those cut out. And then we're going to hold our paper long ways like we did yesterday. And we're going to read our story. We'll read each section and we're going to glue it onto our paper. And then we'll eventually get the pictures glued on. And then we'll get the title glued on. And we'll get down if it's the initial or beginning, middle or the end part of the story. Okay? This story is called The Monsters Boys. Ooh, The Monsters Boys. So, we have three sections here. So, I'm going to just pick one. And this section says, get this one here, I'm reading this one here. It says, Finally, the four monsters became little nice boys. They were so happy and ran out of the house. They loved humans and were excited to start the new life. If it starts with the word finally, and the monsters became boys, I don't think that one starts at the beginning. I don't think that's a beginning paragraph. Okay, well, let's try this one. This one here, it says, Then the monsters drank the green liquid. They started to scream as their bodies shook. They were shocked and surprised when they saw themselves. I don't know. That might be, but let's listen to the other one I have. This one here says, Four little monsters went into a haunted house near Scary Town. They entered the house and found a bottle full of green liquid. Okay, well, if I go back to the second one I read, they drank the green liquid. You can't drink the green liquid until they found the green liquid. And so the last one I read says the four little monsters went into a haunted house near Scary Town. They entered the house and found a bottle full of green liquid. I think that one's probably the first one. So let's put that one on our paper as being the first one. Okay. That is the first part of our story right there. That's the first part. Okay, well, what comes next? What happened next? Then the monsters drank the green liquid. They started to scream as their bodies shook. They were shocked and surprised when they saw themselves. Or does this one? Finally, the four monsters became little nice boys. They were so happy and ran out of the house. They loved humans and were excited to start a new life. Well, they found the green liquid. Then I think they drank the green liquid. What do you think? After they found it, they drank it. So let's put this one next. Then the monsters drank the green liquid. Okay, get that on my paper. So we have two pieces down. We have two of them down. Okay. Then this would be our last one, where it says finally. Finally is a word that we would use at the end to kind of end our story. So they finally were nice little boys. So they went to the haunted house. They found the green liquid. Then they drank the green liquid and something happened to them. Finally, they became little boys and were happy to start their new life. So that's our story called The Monsters Boys. So we have all 3 steps to our story on our paper. Okay, now let's cut out the pictures. Just cut out the pictures so you don't lose the rest of it, okay? So let's cut out those pictures like we did yesterday. Cutting out my pictures. You get your pictures cut out. Okay, got my pictures cut out. Hope you have your pictures cut out. Hey, so which picture goes first? They went into the haunted house. The 4 little monsters went into the haunted house. I think this one that has the 4 little monsters in it by a door for the haunted house. I think that's our first picture. So I'm going to put that first picture on my paper. Okay? Oh, there it goes. I put the 4 little monsters next to the part that talks about the 4 little monsters. Okay? The second part says, then they drank the green liquid. They started to scream as their bodies shook. Oh, I see a picture of a body shaking. Yeah, that would be our second one. This is the picture of the body shaking. We go right in the next one. Right there in the next one. Yep, their bodies are shaking. There we go. Okay, we have one picture left. Finally, the 4 monsters became little nice boys. Yep. And here's a picture of the 4 little nice boys. And that would go with our last part of our story. That would go with the last part of our story. So, okay. Have our story. We have our pictures. So let's listen to the story all together before we put everything else there. 4 little monsters went into a haunted house near Scary Town. They entered the house and found a bottle full of green liquid. Then the monsters drank the green liquid. They started to scream as their bodies shook. They were shocked and surprised when they saw themselves. Finally, the 4 monsters became little nice boys. They were so happy and ran out of the house. They loved humans and were excited to start the new life. That sounds like a pretty good Halloween story. Yes, with those pictures. Okay, let's cut out the title and the 3 words. Okay? So be careful when you cut out so we don't lose anything. We don't want to lose anything. Mrs. Patterson is not at your house, so I can't give you extras if you lose it. Okay, I can't give you extras. So let's get them all cut out. Okay. Okay, here we go. We're going to put the title at the top. The title says, The Monsters Boys. So we're going to put that at the top of our story. Okay? The Monsters Boys. The top of our story. Just like this. Here it is. I got my title at the top. The Monsters Boys. Okay? Okay. Now, let's find that word that says initial. Okay? It starts with that I. Initial. That also means beginning. Okay? Initial means beginning. So that's going to go with the first part of our story, where the 4 little monsters went into the haunted house. That's the initial part of our story, or the beginning of our story. Okay? Then we have the middle of our story. It starts with an M. Middle. The middle of the story is when the monsters drank the green liquid. the monsters drank the green liquid. That's the middle. Okay? And then we have the word end. The end of our story. The end of our story. And that is when the monsters became nice little boys. And there is my story for today. Okay? Sequencing. We're going to start writing in some sequencing order like this once we get back to school in November here, where we're there in more days so we can do some more writing. We will be doing some sequence writing. Okay, so that is your writing. That is your reading for today. I'll be back with some writing in just a minute.